So, as many of you know, I love Doctor Who, and my favourite season is probably the fourth, and today I'm going to be giving my honest opinion on the two-part finale, because I felt like I should shine some light into my opinion of these episodes. Now, I know Turn Left has a role in this too, and it is a good episode, but I am only sticking to these two for this video. Also bear in mind, this is all my opinion. If you disagree, that is great. So, with that said, let's get into the Soul on Earth and Journey's End. So, the Stolen Earth opens in a great way, instantly establishing the stakes of the episode, with the Doctor in panic mode literally about Donna meeting Rose, and by telling us what is at risk, straight away we're instantly hooked by what could be lost. I also think it was a great decision to show the entire world's reaction to the Earth moving, as we realise how much everyone is affected around the whole world. We also seen the Doctor get put into our shoes, as we as the audience have been excited for when we've seen Rose pop up throughout this whole season. We know the Doctor is conflicted with how he loves Rose and wants to see her again, but knows it could cost the whole universe to do so. They also build up mystery and intrigue with showing the reactions of all the characters we know and love to really send off this season. Fear is continued to be created because we've seen the Doctor confused but never truly to this level, and with the revelation of it being the Daleks being able to take the Earth out of its own solar system makes us realise that these Daleks are on a scale we have never seen before, and with each character's reaction we get a real hopeless feeling that will continue through both of these episodes. On a small note, I think the Shadow Proclamation looks incredible. I genuinely love the blue crystal design of that. I think it's great. We aren't even halfway into this episode though, and things are already extremely desperate, with Martha being given Project Indigo, which has never been tested, and with the Osterhagen key. The human race has reached a level of panic and desperateness it has never done so before, and it isn't surprising, especially when we see those Daleks destroy the family's house. Oh my god, that was unexpected on my first viewing. I will admit there are parts of the episode where I do feel like it crumbles under its own weight. Well, just occasionally a character aspect will feel left behind, but not so much that it's majorly distracting. But I have some opinions on these episodes coming before the end of time, but I will get onto that a bit later. David Tennant's acting is incredible in both of these episodes. He's always really great, honestly, but his feel of hopelessness makes me feel the same, and that is incredible acting. With the amount of people attempting to reach the Doctor as well, it shows how many people he's affected and how many people love him, but this would also be challenged by Davros later on in the next episode. I have one nitpick with Rose going to Wilf's house. She travelled with Jack for a period and she met Sarah Jane as well. I know she met Donna in the parallel world, so we understand why she'd go to the Noble house, but I just think that in this situation you'd go to people you've met before, like Jack or Sarah Jane. And the ending, oh my god, my first watching of this episode made me turn inside out. I mean, Russell T Davies actually had the balls to let the Doctor get shot by a Dalek. And when he is reunited with Rose as well. It's not even the final episode. Despite what happens in the next episode, this ending is emotional and jaw-dropping. I cannot imagine what viewers thought at the time when this episode came out. So this episode was great on all levels for me personally. Honestly, the few problems I feel I have are very nitpicky, so I'm honestly going to give this episode a 10 out of 10.
I've got you. I missed you. Look, it's me.
Long time no see.
Yeah. Been busy, you know.
I'm sorry. It's too late. I'm regenerating.
Now on to Journey's End. and how is the opening going to continue into the final episode of Season 4. He's going to put his regeneration into his hand, which I understand for some would feel cheap and maybe even a letdown and a quick way out, but personally it doesn't overly bother me, as the hand was a thing from the beginning of Season 2 and not something that got created. It felt like, I don't know, it didn't feel very rushed thing to happen, but I understand how you'd feel if it was a bit of a cop-out. Then we have Mickey and Jackie show up, and it is nice to see them, but they didn't have the biggest role in this episode. It wouldn't have changed much without them, but it makes sense for them to be there, and it is nice for them to be there. Then, with the Dalek and Torchwood as well, they say there is no way out, but they have the roof exit. You know, maybe I missed something, but I don't know. I don't think I did, and there are two ways out, but you just forgot, maybe? I don't know, but that's been a small thing that's kind of bugged me. The Daleks who sprung the TARDIS show they are more confident than ever in breaking down the Doctor this time around, and I can see people disliking this human Doctor as well, but I think it's a unique, and honestly what they do with him is interesting. I don't know how vital he really was to the plot. I didn't feel like it was a thing that made the episode drag though, and honestly I think again that is mainly due to David Tennant's performance. Now, as I said earlier, this is when the Doctor is challenged about what has happened with his past companions, contrasting with the amount of people needing him, bringing out the Doctor's rage, and how despite the Doctor's efforts, he brings death to good people wherever he goes. The showcase of the reality bomb demonstrates how far the Daleks have actually come, and how dangerous they are now, and how much power they genuinely have. We see his characters trying to come up with solutions to get out. We see the desperateness Sarah Jane and Martha's threat of such great destruction. With Sarah Jane though, I thought it was a bit out of character. I think Jack should have been the one with that device or weapon rather than Sarah Jane, but Martha with the Osterhagen key makes sense due to her working in unit for a while now. But again, Davros challenges the Doctor, making him feel like he turned his companions violent, which he's not wrong, as you can see from this position. Murray Gold is always great for Doctor Who. He always made the best music, and when the human Doctor arrives it is no exception. It is a great use of sound. But then with both Doctors stuck in this Dalek crucible once again, it is shown how powerful the Daleks are, that they have stopped even literally 2 Doctors. Then we start to go into chaos, with Donna speaking absolute gibberish and no sense, but Catherine Tate honestly makes it bearable, and we realise the whole series has led to this one moment in this finale, and again Russell T Davies is great at setting things up. I honestly found Donna spinning around the Daleks was a genuinely funny way, and it actually made me laugh with how she turned the whole Empire into just a big joke after them seeming so intimidating all the way through these past 2 episodes. Then the whole TARDIS crew carrying Earth home has genuine weight, and it's a real creative moment, I felt. I think the ending of this episode is honestly the best part, and it is really great and saddening, but I can't help but wonder why is Mickey allowed to stay in our world, but Rose can't. The Doctor barely being able to watch Rose kiss the other version of himself is really heart-wrenching as well, because we can tell that he still loves her and has to leave her again, but knowing she will be happy with a different version, a human version of himself, while he has to be alone, because he knows what he's going to have to do to Donna, and having to wipe her memory makes it so much worse, and it is such a gut-wrenching but great ending to Series 4. It is a great episode, but not as good as the first part for me, but like I said, great and really emotional towards the end there, and I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. Now, what I briefly mentioned earlier, I really think these should have been Tennant's goodbye episodes, and I do actually like the end of time a fair bit, but I think this episode, with the way everything is sent off, they should have somehow mixed end of time, and like maybe instead of the Daleks, have the Daleks work with the Master. I don't know. If you want me to get into another video about that, let me know, and I will redo the end of time, because this feels like a more solid send-off, even though in End of Time it is pretty gut-wrenching as well. But still, as a Series 4 finale, these are 2 of my favourite Doctor Who episodes.